we are cooking. Well, no, it's a live cacao ceremony. So if this is your first time on this channel, hey, how are you? This is something that I've never done before. I've never been in my kitchen, but we're gonna do it today because we are doing a live cacao ceremony. And I'm happy that you're here to join me. So there's a few things. This is gonna feel natural. We're gonna relax. We're gonna have a good time. We'll give a little bit of history of a cacao ceremony. We also thought to do this because it is Hispanic Heritage Month. And then on Friday was Mexican Independence Day. So there we go. I was joking with Lala. I'm like, I have Mexican friends, but let's hope they appreciate me after this. But this is really to honor the culture, but also honor something that's been going on since 1500 BC. So cacao, you guys notice chocolate, has been in this world for spiritual and special purposes at least since 1500 BC from the Olmecs, okay? So we are going to see if we can honor that tradition and also see the power of it, right? What's going on, Stray Panther? So welcome everyone who's here. Come on in and relax. First thing we're gonna do, so the whole thing about cacao is that it's meant to be a heart opener. It's supposed to, we know the benefits, right? It makes you feel good. It's a mood enhancer. Cacao has a lot of multiple like minerals and benefits just from consuming it. It gives you a little bit of a stimulation. So not like caffeine, it's different, which is why it can be a bit more of a grounded stimulation. So some people think caffeine kind of makes you feel like a little high up, a little jittery, and cacao is more steady. It helps open up the heart, and not just from a like a spiritual woo-woo perspective, but actually it helps increase circulation in your body. So that's one of the benefits of it. So a lot of times when you hear things like from the metaphysical side, heart opener, all of that, it's not just because we want it to be. It's because usually it affects that part of the body. So the heart is one of those areas that cacao affects. Now, fun fact, we all know it. I don't like chocolate. It tastes gross, but I respect the medicine aspect of it. First thing we want to do, not because we have to and not because this is necessary, but because I went and busted out the incense. I'm going to light some incense. Why not? It's a ceremony. Anytime you do anything that you want to make a little bit more special than how you would do it every day, like just busting out a bar of chocolate, since we're doing cacao ceremony, we're going to be drinking it. Make it special. So here we go. This is dragon's blood. Dragon's blood is known for similar things as far as like opening up the heart, kind of creating this open space, removing things, a bit of a protective energy as well. So might as well use this one. I had a few different options. I had this one, which is one of my favorites, Gloka Nakshampa. And then we have this one. Fun question here. How do you not like chocolate? It tastes like dirt and it's disgusting. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? It doesn't taste delicious to me. It really doesn't. But even though it doesn't taste delicious, it doesn't mean I don't find the benefits of it. There's benefits involved. So we're going to light this incense. I have my incense holder over there and we're going to start. Okay. So all right, the incense is going all just so it could feel spiritual and woo-woo. No, I don't walk around just lighting incense and acting like this is just what I do with my life. It's not. Every once in a while, that's not true. Every once in a while, I really do enjoy incense. So let's talk about what is going to be in this and what we need. So here we go. The first thing that we're going to use is, here are my ingredients. We've got cayenne pepper. Okay, that's like the first thing I pick up, so that's the first thing I'll talk about. Then we have habanero flakes, so dried habanero flakes, so that will go in there. So we'll start putting it over here so you can see it. Then we have cardamom, and this is my cardamom. Then we have vanilla extract. I have two. I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. One's from Kroger, one's from Walmart. They're not the best, but they will do. The big point of this is that you want to work with what you have. The only thing that I did have to purchase, of course, is this, the cacao paste. Because I did not have it in a paste form. I have it in a powder form. I actually have a lot of it in powder form because I do tend to have it on a regular basis, like in the morning times. I might mix it into one of my smoothies. It's, like I said, medicinal. I understand. So we have some cacao paste. It's partially melted because it was outside for 2 hours when it was delivered. It might have been melted before that, but it was for sure melted from that outside. It was, I think it was 2 hours. It was about 2 hours. Then we have cinnamon, and I have like the actual cinnamon stick. So we're gonna put that in there. And let's see. Ooh, key here. We have rose. So we have the rose, actual rose tea. And so that's going to be the base for it. So the base of this is rose tea. Now, did they do this? Did the Olmecs do this? Probably not. Okay, probably not. But we really don't know. We weren't there. So we got to just kind of get creative here. And I think that's what we do here. So chili peppers and spicy herbs are often used in hexes and purification rituals. So we do have some fun facts that are being put out there. Remember, this is all about purification. I know for me, knowing that I was going to do this heart opening thing, I had anxiety. I was like, oh, do I really want to open my heart? But, you know, this video really was, we decided to do this because I think we had a video where we want to talk about purification rituals. We wanted to do a video about, like, and just talk about it. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something. Like, that's the whole point. We keep on saying, been saying it for years, do it. So you know what? That's why you guys are getting these videos where I'm just doing it and showing you that I don't always know what I'm doing and it doesn't matter. So anyway, fun fact here. So yesterday I went off and I was just getting, what was I doing? I was kind of seeing if I wanted to get anything for this particular ceremony, but actually everything that you see there is what I already have. So I did not go out and buy anything new, but I did get some crystals. But I went to this crystal shop just to see what was in there. I ended up getting this kind of incense that I don't have a holder for yet, so I have to order it. It's a backflow incense. It's a Galoka. It's Galoka, the brand I like, but it's dragon's blood. And then I was reminded, oh, I actually have dragon's blood incense. But this is like my favorite incense of all time, this one right here. And so I got this brand, and it's backflow incense, but now I have to get a backflow holder. It's coming. All right, so with that being said, I went to the store because I'd never gone into my local crystal shop. So I was like, well, let me see what's going on there. And I got this here, it's just a little citrine. I thought it was cute. But then I was mesmerized by this. And this is a lapis lazuli, but it's so rich in that blue. You don't always see it that rich. It almost just seems like it's glowing from the inside. And so I was just so like taken aback from it. I was like, ooh, this is so pretty. So I got it. But they were trying to charge like quite a bit for it. And so then the girl was like, you know, I just don't think you should pay that much. And so she just took off $6. That was funny. That was cute. So that happened. Now, this particular situation is inspired by one of the few chocolates that I will consume in not complete disdain, meaning these flavors make it better. And so I always felt like spice makes things better. So the ingredients, I did a short video on this, but you have ancho chilies, cinnamon, and chipotle chilies. So this one, of course, we're adding more into our little batch here for drinking chocolate. Now, cacao in ancient times is like the drink of the gods. So for those of you all who like to see yourself as God and goddesses, it's time to drink up. Get with it, okay? Yeah, lapis is getting, well, this person did not feel like it should be that expensive. So she said, here you go. I said, okay, I trust you. Citrine's supposed to be about abundance. Citrine's supposed to be about you know, that prosperity. So apparently citrine decided to work for me right away, right then and there. I was like, all right. Okay, so there's minimal evidence for how the original Mayan cacao rituals were conducted, at least none that are known to Western history. So therefore, that's why we gotta just like wing this today. We have to just make this up. So let's begin. First step is that I decided to take my spiritual tea that I like to drink. So anytime a lot of times when I do videos, especially, I like to drink this tea. And then at night, when I want to do some really good dream work, I'll drink this tea. This tea is comprised of, I think, mugworts in there. I don't know for sure. Dabiana, passion flower, and hibiscus. So this is one of my own, like I just took my herbs and made my own blend, but I don't remember if I put mugwort in there. So this tea gets me in the mood, and I hope you're in the mood. Are you in the mood to make a cacao ceremony? I hope you are. You don't need much, honestly. The biggest thing that you need is really the cacao paste. So I think we should just get started. So the first thing I'm gonna get started on is actually making the tea base. So the tea base is, like I said, is gonna be rose. So this is how I'm gonna do it. Using my kettle, because I love my kettle. You guys, I hope you have one of these. You should have one. So if you don't have one of these, I love these. This is the kind where you can decide the temperature of your tea. And this is, of course, going to be boiled because we're doing herbs. But I like my green tea, my white tea, and then delicate. So you could, I love these. I think it's great. I always wanted one when I first started working in the tea shop and learning about tea. And so today, of course, we're going to be boiling it. So here's my water over here. I like room temperature water. I don't like water from the refrigerator, so I always keep it out here. All right, I think that's enough. I mean, it's just for me, so it's not like, I'm not forcing anyone else to drink this concoction, and we don't know how it's going to taste. It might just taste gross. I'm trying to make it taste kind of good by mixing these herbs in here and this this spice combination, but I really don't know. Okay. So while that goes, we're going to use this. This is like a old school Tivana infuser, and so I am going to use this to essentially put all the stuff in there so that it opens up. I have a smaller infuser, looks like this, but that's too small, right? And then my other one, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I have a slightly larger one that we could have used, but I think this is going to work out the best. So, and you'll be able to see it kind of change colors if colors are going to change. So I'm going to just start adding my ingredients into the thingy here. So first step, habanero flakes, definitely. We'll put this into the tea part. Everything that needs to be filtered out, I'm going to put in the tea part. I guess we don't need that much. Ooh, uh-oh. You know what? I probably put too much. I probably put too much. Oh well. I'm living a wild life. All right, this is all that I'm gonna need. So I got my rose tea here. I'm gonna put probably about, I don't know, I think that's enough. You really don't, when you're making tea, by the way, people, you don't have to overdo it. So there we go. I think that's enough of the rose. You really don't have to overdo it. That's probably more than enough. Those are actual rose buds, and they smells delicious and divine. So hopefully this works. The cardamom is in the house. Let's see. Let's measure it out. I like to use measuring spoons, but not pay attention to what I'm measuring because this is fun. Okay, so we're gonna measure this out. Okay, the pepper is getting to me, which is good. That means that this is gonna be a thrilling ride. All right, so I think I put a fourth of a teaspoon. That feels right with cardamom. You can do too much in the cardamom world, if you ask me. You know, we want to have a flavor balance, if you will. All right, so now I got cinnamon. I'm gonna just put all this, the rest of the cinnamon in here. I had grounded up some cinnamon a while ago. I kind of broke it up. So I'll just put the rest of that in there. Now cinnamon is great. It actually adds a natural sweetness anytime you brew it. And now if you are listening, it's ready. So I'm going to pour this in. This holds about 16 ounces, so we'll see how this goes. So in this we have the rose tea, the cinnamon, the cardamom, and the habanero flakes because we are about that life, or at least I am. Don't know about you. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. All right, so that has to brew, that has to do its thing. So while it does its thing, let's chit chat for a bit. Everything should have intention, right? So anytime we do this, there should be some level of intention. There should be this feeling of, why am I doing this? Now for me, yesterday, I know exactly why I'm doing this, because I want a different experience. I want to try something new. And I'm like, well, it's so interesting that you're gonna be doing something that's supposed to open up the heart. So everything should have some level of intention. So what I'm gonna do right now is just, at least for a moment, maybe do some Reiki over here, right? Because even if I don't know exactly what I want to say or exactly what my intention is, if I focus on essentially the most beautiful energy and intention for what I want, I think that's just as powerful. So here we go. I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'll show you what it actually looks like sometimes when you really like prepare. It's nice to have your feet grounded, put your hands at your heart center, and you just relax into this. And I like to just wait for the energy just to kind of like pop out since I'm cooking. And I do this all the time, actually. Whenever I make tea, especially, I go over, I take my hands and then I'll bring it over here so you could, and then I just hold it. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just holding everything. And I'm just allowing the energy to flow. So just allowing like all what I think I'm supposed to want, what I think should happen. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Let the most divinest, purest, truest to who I am and who I am growing to be come through here, and let that infuse this tea. So that's my intention there. It's always a good feeling just to kind of take that mental pressure. The more I meditate lately, I find that I'm so much more aware of the silly voices in my head that I would say prior to me meditating more frequently, I would think those voices are me. And now with that greater awareness, I'm just like, can you go sit down over there in the corner? Thank you, I appreciate that. Good job. So it's interesting. So hopefully you guys are doing your spiritual work. But as I'm doing this, just letting it flow. And now I actually feel it flowing more, the energy. So that felt good. Okay. All right, that's a good feeling. All right, let's go back to the brewing corner. The flowers have opened up, but this can brew for a little bit longer. All right, I'm also going to be using honey, but look at this, we got raw honey. We're also going to be using honey, but I rather do the honey that I don't want to cook the cacao and honey. I want to just put it at the bottom of my cup, and then I'll mix it up afterwards, probably with my tiny whisk here. I have different whisks for different feelings and moments. So we have 2 different whisks that we'll be using as well. Those are pretty much all the tools for this ceremony. I mean, I'm sure that they did not have a whisk, but that's too bad, right? We have one. But all these ceremonies that we read, it said use a whisk. So we're using a whisk. So let me look at the fun facts here. Let's see. Yes, my kettle is bomb. It really is. So it's really awesome. Let's see what else we have here. In Aztec mythology, cacao is often used as in sacrificial ceremonies to lift the spirits of the soon to be sacrificed. So have you guys seen that before? Have you ever? I know you've heard about it, but there's also that movie, right? But you've seen the concept of. I feel like that's all they ever want to teach us in school. So like in school, think about them. In Arizona, so we have a very strong like Mexican population, which means their ancestors were Aztecs and Mayans. I think maybe Incans. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure how that works exactly. But we know that they have that ancestral history, and the only thing that they're learning about their ancestors was, yeah, they used to play basketball, and two, they would would have human sacrifices where the heart is removed live and then you go tumbling down the pyramid. So that's what they're taught. That's like their history, and that's it. And so this essentially is associated with the idea that they would essentially treat, remember this is supposed to be the drink of the god, so the concept is that they would treat someone like a god, and give them and keep on feeding them cacao, because cacao lifts the spirits. And the idea was that they would treat them like a god, and then when it came time for the ritual, the sacrifice, that if they were nervous about that part of it after they've been treated like a god, then they would give them cacao to bring up their spirits, so that they'd be ready just to be like, yeah, I'm ready for this end of my life, so you could take my heart and do some weird stuff. So anyway, that's the history that was taught. I don't think we'll ever know the real story because we weren't there. I don't know. I'm not going to assume that I know the real story, but one thing is for sure is that we do know that cacao does lift up the spirits, that cacao does make you feel some kind of wonderful, even if it's disgusting. So that's something that you should know. It's also good for suppressing the appetite. So sometimes I have phases, especially if it's that time of the month, where I feel like I'm insatiable, meaning I could just keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. And so I know this about myself. I've always known this about myself. So I've always had pretty good discipline over it. But one thing I found that always helps me stop the eating process is chocolate. So if I just have a small piece of chocolate, and that's all I can handle. That's all I can handle. I find that I no longer am trying to eat everything in like eyesight. So this has been the chocolate that I'll be using for quite some time, because I don't like chocolate like that. So I just eat one square at a time. I just keep going. So you can even feel that I only had 2 squares. One you saw on camera, and then the other one. So this is it, chili mole. And I always make sure that it's super dark, because if it's not, I'm just having dressed up dirt, and I'm not getting any benefits, and now my time has been wasted, right? Okay, don't want to waste my time. Okay, so there we go. All right, I think things have been brewing for a while now. It smells divine. That part is true. It smells divine, but I think we need a little bit more time. So one thing I want to start doing is figuring out how to handle this cacao situation. So let's bust out the cacao, all right? So I'm going to use this pot up here, my favorite main pot. I use it for almost everything. And here we go. So Rainer, that is the only time you crave chocolate. It's during your cycle, or otherwise it's not appealing. Yeah. Kayla, you're hurt with the dressed up dirt. No, you're not. Maybe you are. Sorry. It is. I mean, come on now. This is like, I mean, we know it comes from the plant, but okay. So here's the real raw cacao, big chunk of it. I think this is enough. I'm trying to figure out how much I'm supposed to use, but this is freaking enough. I know it's supposed to be more than you're used to, but that's enough for what, that's enough. I don't think I'm supposed to use more, right? Give me some insight, everyone. My fellow ceremony folks, this is enough. Would you agree? Look how big that is. This is more than enough. Okay. Oh, why did I do that? Because I don't like to waste. Oh. Ah. Ugh. It's not delicious. And there's no sugar in this. All right, good. So that is enough. Everyone agrees. I just like chocolate though. I don't eat sweets a lot, but every once in a while I get chocolate wasted. Well, I'm about to get chocolate wasted with this amount here. This is insane. I mean, that's insane. I don't even know what to think about this. All right. So with that it being in mind here, I think I'm gonna start maybe a low heat situation. So over here, I'm gonna do low. And I know we need some vanilla beans. Let me see which one, vanilla extract. Let me see which one I want to use today. There's that one. One of these I like better than the other, and I forget which one. It might be this one since it's almost gone. Gotta take off. Every time I open up stuff, I gotta take off the ring here. Let's see. You guys sound the same. I really need the Mexican vanilla extract. I wonder, there might be some. Let me check. Let me check. No. No dice. No dice. So while things are heating up, what's gonna go in there is the cayenne pepper and this right here. So this will do. I'll just do this one here. All right, that was about a teaspoon of vanilla. We can only hope that's right. Then we're gonna do cayenne pepper. So you're wondering how much cayenne pepper should go into this? Let's see. I don't know. That's one thing, two. All right, that's about right. That feels right. Maybe that's about a quarter of a teaspoon. I like heat, so I think that seems right. All right, so it is slowly melting. All right, so we got cayenne pepper, we got the habanero flakes, cardamom, cinnamon, everything is still brewing over here. And then we have everything on the stove. So let's see how this all goes. I think there's enough cayenne pepper. So now I'm just waiting for things to heat up and cook up. All right. So let's talk about this while we're here. What would you like if you were doing a ceremony like this? And the main point is to take in the fluids and maybe be mindful. And it's about opening the heart. I think it's also about community, which is why I'm doing this with you all today. And it's about kind of just, I would say, releasing things, because if you're going to be opening stuff up, you need to release and let go and let things flow. So what are your heart opening ideas? For those of you all who are watching now, if you were to enter this ceremony, what would be one of the things that you would intend for yourself? So write it there, put in the comments, what would you intend for yourself? For me, I think I just want to be open-minded to the process. Whew. The pepper. Okay, the pepper is no joke. I just want to be open-minded to the process. I want to be open-minded to discovering something about cacao that I never thought or considered. I know I don't find it enjoyable, but I've also was drawn to do this. So to me, there's something there. Just like I'm also drawn to still purchase something that literally is disgusting to me. It tastes like metal. It tastes like, I don't understand why people like it. But I'm still drawn to it because of the medicinal value of it. You know, a lot of stuff came into my life not because it was delicious, but because there was something medicinal about it that I appreciated. So that's what cacao is for me. And I recognize the power of it. I recognize that if I have a little bit, there is a difference in my mood. And so I'm like, you know what? This is good. So. And I also think about how when we talk about like ancestral communication and connecting, that when you do want to connect, you want to be like at that high level. You want to be joyous. You want to feel light. So that is a very important spiritual state to be able to have and know how to attain. and we have all these things going on in our lives, and we all have a full range of emotions that we feel. But I think it's really important to be able to attain that feeling of lightness and bliss and know how to do it, whether you use the medicine of cacao or whether you use meditation, whether you use exercise, whether you use positive affirmations. But I feel like we all should have the knowledge of how to get into that state so that we have those moments of clarity, of bliss, of clear communication, all those things. So that, I guess, is what I'm coming into. So what would you come into? And I'm reading here. Cacao is known for anti-inflammatory, heart-protecting, anti-aging, and appetite-suppressing properties, plus improving kidney health, skin and tooth protection, and improving cognitive functions. Now, how is that not food for the gods on earth, if you will? All right. Chocolate really does improve my mood. I could see it being helpful in ritual work. Yeah. My intention would be to gain a deeper understanding of myself. Absolutely. All right, so I think we are starting to get a good meltdown. Oh yeah, it's melting. Oh yeah, so nice and slow. Cause every cooking show I've ever seen, it's so slow. Anytime we mess with chocolate, it's slow. So I'm just gonna go with that. But look at that. It smells good though. Now, I may not like chocolate, but I like the smell. The smell is good. I love that smell. Like I used to have this body butter from from the Body Shop, and it was chocolate. Love that smell. That's the thing. The smell really brings you in, and then you taste it, and you're like, ooh, oh, how? Why? But that smells delicious. So, looks like things are moving well here. We're almost there. I feel like I should have music. Oh man, that's a lot of chocolate. Oh, that's a lot of chocolate. I'm about to be high on something after this. Oh, high on some chocolate. Whew. Oh, I'm afraid actually. I want to learn the medicinal benefits of these herbs to strengthen my body and build stamina. How about the spiritual benefits? How about the woo-woo? You don't want to see if you can now take off flight. You want to see if you can now have astral projection powers that you didn't have before. You don't want to. How about that? Are we not into that? No? Superpowers? Are we activating our melanin? No, so this was interesting. When we were doing our research for this, I asked Lala, I'm like, okay, well, we know that there's a whole lot of chocolate in Africa. And I'm like, so what are they doing spiritually with chocolate in Africa, right? I'm like, come on, what's going on? And, it was hard to find any information. We really didn't get much. So most that we got was essentially that chocolate really came to, I think, Saint-Tropez, am I right? It came into certain areas much later. And I don't know why I have Saint-Tropez in my mind. I know you said that, so I'm going to believe that that's what I have in my mind. But it came into Africa later from the Portuguese, apparently, around the 1800s. So they cultivated the plant and, of course, started to grow it. So the land is great to grow chocolate, but it doesn't seem like there are documented, at least that we could find, spiritual uses that West Africans in Ghana, I think Ivory Coast, have used. Gabon, I think, also is a place where chocolate is used. So we want to find, if anyone knows any information about that, please let us know. And honestly, it's okay if West Africans who mostly grow chocolate, they're not down with the spiritual properties, guess what? Today's a day. This is why we have to appreciate different cultures and heritages, because they open up our minds to different possibilities. So that means you're talking about from the Olmecs. They've been down with this since 1500 BC. So that's how long there's been this love affair with cacao. And we know, if you guys have any good Mexican friends, you all know that someone's abuelita can make the best mole. And so that's, once again, a use of continuing to use chocolate, the food of the gods, if you will. And in this case, we're going to have the drink of the gods. So there we go. There are deities associated with the actual ceremony and deities that are just just connected to chocolate. Quetzalcoatl, never say that right, but this deity is supposed to be like a more male deity, is often associated with chocolate. And then, oh, Adele, thank you. I think that's your name. You're half Ivorian. Oh, good. Please let us know. Cote d'Ivoire. That I know how to say that. Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire combined produce 2/3 of the world's chocolate. Then also, I want you all to think about. Let's see. I kind of went in a different direction. Most people know how to they use it in their food and in their cooking, but I think there's something more to it, and there's a history there. There's also a female deity called Cacao. Am I correct? It was something like that, right? It was confusing. I think someone made it up because we're trying to do the research, finding like different things online. And Quetzalcoatl, didn't pronounce that right, you know that, right? But you guys have an idea, you know how to find it. Is associated with chocolate and like a creation story about humans and all of that. But then you have the other deity, Eeks Cacao, who likely predates. This is a goddess, predates Quetzalcoatl, and the mother of chocolate or cocoa woman. Whoa, interesting. All right, you guys, the chocolate is now hot. It's ready. Uh-oh, I didn't do that right. I was supposed to drain it, and I did something else. None of your business. Here. All right, so I poured it in because it smelled like it was like if I didn't get it, it was gonna burn. So I kind of panicked. Yeah, I panicked, I did. It's okay. So that means I got rose petals in here, but that's all right. That's all I got in there though. Now what I'm gonna do is take it off the heat and take the rest of my fluid and just, there we go. That's what I meant to do. I meant to do this, so I'm doing it now. All right, so the chocolate is pretty well melted, and I think the cayenne pepper has activated with it. Now what I'm gonna do is take my whisk and whisk it up as every website told us to do. It smells pretty okay. I smell like the cardamom. I smell the rose. Oh, this smells spiritual. This smells like I'm sitting with the shaman. This smells like, y'all want me to drink that, don't you? Oh, this smells like, I hope this works. This smells like I took a really long hike into the woods, and this shaman better come through, and I better come through a new human being, because I know you're gonna have me drink this, Mr. Shaman, and I really, really, really need you to make sure you know what you're doing. That's what this smells like. Oh, it smells complicated. All right. So there we go, Real Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes. And I actually just watched that this week to get in the mood for this. So Real Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes here. If you never had them, this is it. I watched the one with Gene Chandler. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what I smell. I smell the spice. I mean, that's what makes it smell real spiritual. I smell all of it. So I'm going to get this honey and I'll put it at the bottom of this. I'll put it at the bottom of this cup here. Whew. All right. Cacao was used to facilitate the transition from life to death. All the pressure to drink it. for those close to death, Cacao would ease them into Kibaiba, the underworld. Oh, I'm about to wash me. I don't think I'm close to death though, so I think I'm all right. Are you in the mood? Who sings that song? Who sings the song? All right, I had to get a clean spoon here. And I'm going to put the honey in this cup. You see me taking my time. Taking my time. I know it. It's gonna need honey here. All right, that's about how much I'm not paying attention. I'm serious with this honey. At first I was gonna be like, oh, just a little bit of honey. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. All right, so there goes, I got all the honey in here. It's about a good tablespoon of honey, probably. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good amount of honey, okay? It's raw honey. It's good for you. It's from the bees. So I only become a better person for it. All right. Now it's time to pour the drinking chocolate. Let me see if I can adjust it for you ever so. Are you? Is it Glenn Miller or Robert Plant? No, sir. All right, so here we go. I think you can see it a little bit. All right, let me turn this burner off. Okay, there we go. That's my chocolate drink. Whisk time. No one knows that song? Are you? Oh, I'm taking forever because I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. All right, so remember, so this is it. Let's do a little something before we consume it. Some just level of gratitude, right? So I will say I give thanks to all that have come before me who have loved and participated in any kind of cacao ceremony with the purest intentions. I honor the people who discovered how to consume it for enjoyment. I'm thankful for those who actually do love chocolate because you all keep it out there in the world so that it's easy accessible to me who uses it for medicine, and I'm so grateful for that. And then I think that's it. All right, let me come up here. Are you in the mood? You still love that song, dude. It's okay. All right, so here we go. First sip doesn't seem to be that hot, so here we go. Yeah, that's spiritual. So it's super spicy. Cayenne pepper's on point. Cardamom really rounds it out. The rose, you know it's there. Honestly, the chocolate part, it's okay, it doesn't bother me. In conclusion, the spice makes it all delicious. This is actually working out just fine. Mm. And the honey. This is good. So, so cheers to you all. Hope you try this at home. Don't just let it be this moment. You should try this. The only thing you'll need is a few ingredients, things that you like, and yeah, I mean this is genius if you ask me. Chocolate should be spicy. I think that's what I learned here. Yeah. So essentially what I did was I made the habanero and the cayenne be the first note to hit. And so all the stuff that I typically don't like doesn't hit my palate first. And even though there's so much cacao in here, it's not overwhelming. This is delicious. Well, I think this is good. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope that you try this for yourself. I hope that you enjoy cacao. And I will see you all in the next video. I'm gonna just take my time to enjoy this. And I think I'm going to, probably after we finish the workday, do a nice little moment of journaling and just see what I took from this. So cheers. Try this out. It's worth it. And yeah, totally worth it. I really like the rose edition. Bye-bye. I should say Io and Bunia and hallelujah, hallelujah magic. Do some real spiritual work.